To me and say, we doing this in Union City, right? And our job is to get college students and these people that are here to come out. And I know though you have access to more information, is a difficult time. Because when I was in school, it was easier for me. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because we had support. We had support from the artists. We had cultural support. We had the music was different. What was going on in the world was different. There was more organizing and movement going on in the world. So it informed people, and it was easier for me to get up in front of 100 kids at Howard University and stand on the wall and start talking, and people listen to me and not think I was a nut. Because they had music, the cultural revolution, culturally, it was happening at that time. It was helping us to organize people. And that doesn't exist for you now. So it's difficult. It doesn't. In fact, it's what you're doing, the music is counterintuitive to that, right? It's actually telling the kids, don't be involved in it. Right. Go get high, go get drunk, kill yourself, all this kind of like crazy, and that's by design. All this kind of craziness. When I was organizing, Public Enemy was at the height of its existence. I was on a train quoting Elvis, was a hero the most, but he never meant shit to me to take out racist the sucker was simple and plain. That ain't happening now. Him and John Wayne. Like that was my rap music, you know what I mean? My rap, that was the music I was into, which was informing me to fight the power. Fight the power. Fight, and it's different. That's not helping you today. So even the poetry and all that other stuff was different. But in that time, we was talking about anti-apartheid. We was talking about anti-police brutality. We was talking about police brutality. We was talking about all these issues in our art form that helped us organize people, right? And culture is important to make that happen, right? And it ain't just college students are the smartest as to why they organize people. They have the most time. Yep. Right? They have the most time, number one, and I know you don't think so because you're studying all the time, but you have more time than these people that's working. Plus, you have access to information that other people don't have access to. So you have the ability to make things happen quicker than everybody else. Like you can speed it up. You can speed it up. And I'm not the only one who knows this. You know that, right? So there are people who are in power who know this as well, and make it difficult for that to happen on purpose at these campuses and at these universities. They made this a difficult thing to happen. So even at Howard University, they stopped recruiting from certain areas of the inner city, like after a certain time, because they realized that they were getting certain type of kids that were coming to the college campuses saying different kinds of things, and before you know it, people was taking over administration buildings, right? So they said, okay, we gotta stop. These kids can't come here anymore, right? And it's the same thing all over the country. So I know the job is difficult, and for you to do it now is 10 times harder than me doing it in 1989, or 1990. It's 10 times more difficult, but it has to be done. I mean, it has to be done, and we're gonna have to make this happen over and over again. And one thing Tariq said that I think that was encouraging was that he said he went to the universities and spoke to other student groups to try to tell them about the conference. That's a process that needs to happen tomorrow, to begin to speak to other student groups about getting involved and making this conference happen. Then we got to open our doors and let other people help us organize this conference, right? So I don't want to do it. That's why I didn't say I was going to be the organizer of it. I'm going to help, support, do whatever. I don't want to do it. I have too much things to do. And I'm doing too many things as it is. Like, it's a mistake for me to say I'm going to do this too, right? Plus, when there's able-bodied, smart-minded leaders out here that should do it on their own, right? And then my job is to support that, like, to make sure that it happens, to provide cover for it, right? To make sure that it's safe, like, that it can actually take place, that you have the materials and the resources that you need to make this thing jump off the way it jumps off. That's how we have operational unity, not by me putting on the conference, organizing the conference, being in charge of the conference, and being the councilman and the principal and all these other things. I can't do that, right? So, so you guys have to do it. I just have to, my job is to provide the support so it takes place, right? That's why you put people in charge of resources, so you have access to them. Right. That's why you put people in charge of the resources. That's why you really elect people, so you can have access to those resources. Not so they can govern and run your life, so you can have access to the resources that the city and everybody else has, so you have access to it and begin to use these resources to begin to govern your own lives, right, in the way that you want it to happen. So that being said, I'm happy that we came together today, and hopefully next year, you know, we'll have more people. It'll be a little bit more organized. But you know, I'm happy that this first step was taken. Thank you.
Yes, sir.